Lautaro Martinez will hope to defend the World Cup with Argentina, who could be joined by Como's young and bright star Nico Paz, although Marcus Thuram would love to have another shot at this football, the world's biggest football prize with France. Rafael Leao in Portugal and Luka Modric with Croatia, they're definitely challengers. And we can't forget the Serie A MVP, Scott McTominay, and Scotland. By the way, he was 2 when Scotland was last in a World Cup. It's nice to see Scotland and all the excitement, especially with someone like Scott McTominay, who, as we know, has just been next level in Serie A. 100%.
And for me, the most exciting thing about McTominay is he's a big game player. The amount of times that we watched Napoli, that we're in a pickle, that the game is 0-0, that they can't score, and it's that man, Scott McTominay. He scored the goal that ended up winning them the Scudetto against Cagliari in the last match day with all the joy and celebration. But even in the Champions League, it's been him that's gotten them out. We're talking about a midfielder. He's been reborn there. So to do it on the biggest stage, to do it in the World Cup would be something special. There's already a great storyline with Scotland being there. And they're in a difficult group, of course, with Brazil and Morocco and Haiti. But, I think if there's anybody that could guide his team, it would be McTominay.
He's been outstanding. It's nice to see as well all the chants that have been made from the Tartan Army. They're such a passionate fan base. I'm really excited.
You're Scottish too, right?
Yeah, I'm a quarter Scottish.
Now that they're in the World Cup, you're Scottish.
Yes, exactly.
Before you never told us about it.
I was only English. I wasn't a quarter Scottish. Who else, Grell, are you looking forward to seeing in this World Cup from the Serie A stars?
I like Leao and I like Paz. I think they're 2 players that we get to watch week in and week out in Serie A that have, we keep saying they have a high ceiling. They have no ceiling. They're players that have potential through the roof that can do so much. Paz obviously being more in that number 10 role. He's scored some fantastic goals against big clubs in the big moments as well. And Leao, I mean, just sort of the pace he has, the smile he plays with when he's playing really well is fun to watch. And we'll see what they do in the World Cup. Obviously, Leao will be partnered along Cristiano Ronaldo, so that will be really exciting and fun to watch. And then Paz, we'll see how many minutes he actually gets. But a lot of players on that graphic before that could actually win this thing.
Be a fairy tale ending for Ronaldo. We know it's going to be his last World Cup. What about you, Tones?
Yeah, look, Leao is when you mentioned Cristiano Ronaldo, he could be that guy that puts Portugal over the top. If someone wants to convince you that Portugal's their favorite, it's going to be hard to argue, right? You look at their side, but of course, France. You mentioned Argentina. I love Nico Paz as well. It's a young player. I love young attacking players, but you guys know my favorite player in the world was on that graphic, and Luka Modric, right? This is the last time we're going to see him play for we've been blessed for 10, 15 years now of greatness with Luka Modric. And I don't know that Croatia is going to be a team in the end that we'll see in the Final Four this time around. But my gosh, what a career this guy's had. And we're lucky now we get to watch him in Serie A and do it with Milan and really sort of shine in this league over the last couple months. So keep an eye on Modric, right? He's always got something up his sleeve. Who knows? Can they pull it off one more time with this Croatian side?
He made the move because of the World Cup. He went to Milan. He could have went for the money. He could have went to Saudi Arabia. He could have done a lot of things, and nobody would be mad at him for what he's achieved in his career. He chose the hard path. He chose the path where he could still be competitive, where he's still playing 90 minutes every single match. It's incredible to me to watch it. So as a professional, there's nothing bad you could say about Luka Modric. It'll be phenomenal to watch him at the World Cup.
So true. Another potential fairy tale finish for him having this season with Milan and then going on in the World Cup as well. Well, his teammate Christian Pulisic, it's hard to overlook him with the US, Grella, because all the talk is going to be around Christian Pulisic and how far this edition of the US can go.
Yeah, every week, we say a lot of good things about him because obviously he deserves it and he's been fantastic. He's been one of the best players in Serie A. When he first went there a few years ago, we didn't even know if he was going to be in the starting 11, let alone one of the best players in this league. And like I said, we run out of nice things to say about him, but every week he does something new that we haven't seen, whether it's a different type of goal, whether it's popping up in a big moment, being a fantastic teammate. So the stats speak for themselves, but he's just a real professional popping up in all the big moments. A lot of the Americans have been doing that in Europe in the last few weeks, so great to see heading into the World Cup.
He's the first name on the team sheet, no doubt, in a team where we're not really sure who else is going to join him in the 11.
Yeah, and coming off a summer where maybe Mauricio Pochettino wasn't his biggest fan, let's say, right, because taking the time off. But I think he said in the summer that he took time off because he wanted to be ready for the run-in with the U.S. team and his time at Milan, right? And he's hit the ground running from minute number 1, was the player of the month, the first month of the season. And you mentioned it, Poppy. when you're putting that team sheet in, he's probably the first guy you put on there.
Do you think that's all forgotten, by the way, now? Do you think Pochettino has moved on into the future?
When you score goals, it's all forgotten, right? In the end of the day, look, Mauricio Pochettino's job is to put the best team on the field. Christian Pulisic, whether you're picking just the best players alone, which we always know is not the best team all the time, or you're picking the best team. He fits both the categories. So there's no way we don't see him play. Of course, we're all rooting for him to continue to stay healthy. That's been what we've seen over the last 2 seasons. And my gosh, he's not only made Milan a contender for the Scudetto. If the U.S., for me, is going to make any type of run, I can't see it happening without Christian Pulisic on the field.
It's just crazy to me. I remember I went on Italian TV when he first signed for Milan. And the first questions was, all right, come on, there's America. Oh, we got him for the jerseys. Is he really a good player? Those are real conversations that were had in the Italian newspapers and all over. And they're very harsh because they had not seen an American come to the league and do what he was able to do. And to now see, especially in the last week, where I'm seeing the Italians write, oh, he's the most consistent player in the last 3 years that he's been part of this league. It's incredible the barriers that he broke from the start of his Milan career to now. To do it at Milan. Milan is a club that's followed all around the world. And to have that respect, to have to earn that respect starting from the bottom, it speaks to him as a character, but it also speaks to him as the person.
And he knew, I needed time off. That's part of maturity as a player. He didn't push himself. He said, I know I need time off, and he took that time off. It's not like some people on this panel that want time off every 3-4 times a month.
Are you in tomorrow?
No, I'm not in.
Are you here tomorrow?
Were you here on Thursday, Grella, or was that just me?
I was here. I was here all week.
You were here on Thursday?
Yeah.
How was the Europa League?
I hear you in the meeting room. Oh, I need another day. I need another day. Pochettino wouldn't like you.
You are complete full of fibs. Do you know that? Obviously, Christian Pulisic, he's got such a high ceiling, hasn't he? How amazing, very quickly, would it be to see him compete for Serie A Player of the Year, Tony?
Yeah, I think he's in that conversation at least right now.